Hey, Alex.
Oh, hey, Will.
Matt's not here this week to do the intro, so we can say whatever we want about him, and we can say swears.
I love swears. Swears are my favorite.
Yeah, let's swear.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know any.
No, me neither. I wasn't raised that way. I was raised properly.
That's right.
I tried to sing a song, and I was like, no, that's Say a Little Prayer for You. That's not, I swear.
Say a little swear for you?
Say a little swear for you.
Yeah, what about,
now
I
that Matt's
swear.
not here.
Yeah. I swear, and I don't know any words.
By the moons and the stars in the sky, I'll be there.
Sky.
I swear.
I swear.
Yeah. For better or worse, till death do us part. I just remember that from the beginning of Just Friends, where fat Ryan Reynolds is just lip-syncing the heck out of that song. Oh, he's not here. I could have said hell. Oops. Almost said ish.
Almost said ish. Anyway, on with the show. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to the Triple Threat Podcast. Usually three brothers. Three brothers? See, Matt's not here to stop me from saying that. Talking about the world in which we live and offending people in droves. Hi, I'm William Vaughn, coming at you from Vancouver, BC. And with me, as sometimes, is...
I'd say not as some. I'd say as most of the time. Most of the
true.
time. If you look at like percentage-wise, like if I wrote a test and you're like,
yes.
you get, 68 out of 70 or however many podcasts we've done, then that's
68
pretty
out of
good
70.
attendance. Is it
That's
perfect? No.
good.
Is it Matt in grade 6 attendance? No.
Was he perfect attendance?
I don't know.
Grade
He still
6?
complained about something about that. Like, I don't know. Something about getting a cupcake, but then someone else did, but they did not have perfect attendance. He could explain this story. I don't know why I brought up a story only he would know the answer
it's
to.
the worst time to bring it up.
Well, it's the first time it came to mind.
I didn't even know what happened. I just
know.
remember, we can just tell stories about Matt all day. I just remember his bad first day of school. He
His
got
bad
kicked in the
first day of
face.
school.
Yeah, he got kicked in the face climbing up the ladder
The
to go
slide.
down the slide.
Yeah.
He didn't have, they didn't have gym or didn't have recess or something.
It's both, actually. He didn't have a snack for recess, and he didn't have gym class.
It's
He was in a snit. He had a huff.
he was in a snit.
pleased.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened is he had a sticker that said, "I had a great first day of school," and he right away told Mom, he's like, "Don't even listen to this, Mom.
Don't even listen to this sticker.
Don't even pay attention to this sticker because it is lying to you."
This sticker is a fallacy, lady. I'm telling you right now that this is. I did not have a good first day. Alex, you didn't say your name, by the way, when I introduced you.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
That's
yeah.
fine. Okay, and he will not say his
Okay.
own name throughout the rest of
I
this
got a couple
podcast.
priors right now, so we'll just right now. Don't you
Oh.
always have priors? They're priors. They're always there, so you can't.
I
just
got
have
warrants.
priors right now.
Yeah. Once you have a prior, it's very. When you get a prior, it's very shortly a current, and then it becomes a
Yes.
prior. Yes.
Yes.
That's the. That's the deal. I don't know. I
Well,
don't know
there's a
anything
point
about
in
law.
which you would commit the crime and possibly not be charged for it.
That's
So,
true. That's
yeah.
called being on the lam. Is
Yes.
it on the run?
Call me mint jelly because I'm on the lam.
Because of beef jelly. That was what we said last week when we talked about the Kings of Catchphrase comedy.
And
That
we'll
was
be coming
very-
back to you every single week.
It will be coming. It'll be a new catchphrase every week from a series.
You
of
did
sketches
say
that
you wanted a
was
Kings of
written.
Catchphrase comedy every week. We could make that ourselves. It would be
That's true.
I don't know, a 12th of the quality, but that's fine.
That's fine. I mean, maybe we're holding up these SNL writers on a pedestal, right? Maybe, well, they came up with the idea. So maybe if we just simply steal their idea, then we can, take the ball and run with it. Give me the ball, see what I do with it, as Alex would
Throw me the ball
paraphrase.
and watch what I do with it, but close.
Throw me the ball. Hand me a ball, and I'll throw it away. Is that what he said? Who said that? Was that
That's
T.O.?
what Russell Wilson said that right in the huddle before for the last play, Super Bowl 49. He said, "Hand me the ball and watch me throw it to Malcolm
Watch
Butler."
me throw it to Malcolm Butler. Russ, he's not on our team. Yeah, well.
Russ, no one knows who that is, to be honest with you, bud. No one's ever heard of him before.
No one will ever remember him. It's like, what's his name? He won the MVP of the Super Bowl the year before, played for the Seahawks, and he was on Kimmel reading mean tweets.
Yeah.
And he's like,
You won the Who the F Are You award.
Yeah, you won the Who After You was like, who am I? I'm the Super Bowl champion or Super Bowl MVP. Win the Super Bowl and drove off in a Hyundai. Hey, Joe Flacco's also Super Bowl MVP. I'll tell you who's not a Super Bowl MVP is yet. He could have a remarkable comeback season is Mr. Geno Smith of the New York Football Jets.
Your early prediction for Super Bowl MVP.
Super early, yeah. We're having our football preview episode is still weeks away.
He is not in attendance today because he got punched in the face by his own teammate.
Sucker punched in the face by his own former teammate.
Yes.
IK something or other.
IK and
IK
promptly signed by the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, who is coached by former Jets coach Coase? Yeah.
Koth. Yeah, he is the former Jets coach, baby.
Hey, the
Buffalo Bills,
baby. Buffalo
Sunday,
Bills.
Sunday.
If you will, I should say, because I think who he's the coach of. I shouldn't say do his voice because he's not alive. Although you can, people do JFK's impersonation all the time.
People do a lot of impersonations of dead people.
Those William Shakespeare impressions are very funny, by the way. Yeah, I hear them all the time. Who else is a good dead person to imitate? Nope, not going to go there. Okay, fine. Sorry, I just heard Matt's voice in the back of my head.
Disagree.
So that's what it's going to be. This whole podcast, we're just going to be like, yeah, and Matt saying, yeah, but no, you know what? I shouldn't.
But seriously, when did you ever hear of, to get back on track, which I never do, of a starting quarterback getting sucker punched by a guy on his team
in the locker room?
Yeah.
So you got sucker punched by a linebacker.
Yeah.
So if you think of like a rookie linebacker is nevertheless a linebacker. Like if you think of let's use mixed martial arts as an example, a sport that has weight classes. Mm-hmm. If you were to say, I guess Geno Smith isn't he's not a small fella. I don't think.
I feel like he would tower over you or I. Yeah,
he'd tower over you or I.
Yes,
but
if say you were on my shoulders or I was on your shoulders, we probably couldn't take him because we'd be horribly off balance. But we would be taller than him.
Yes, well he's 6'3", 221.
We would beat Geno in a height fight, which
I'm in a height fight, which you just made up. Yeah,
yes.
I'm gonna adjust my microphone here, but I'm gonna mute it. So Alex, you say something else right now.
I'm just talking about other things. I just want to talk about...
Okay, Alex, I just want to interrupt you for a second. I fixed my mic.
Cool.
Okay, sorry. You were saying... So, yeah, he's 6'3", 221, mm-hmm. And so that would make him a what, Alex? A light heavyweight? Yeah. IK is the first...
Yeah, sorry. So, 205 is the limit for light heavyweight, and then 225 is the minimum for heavyweight. So 225. It's weird because you go from like.
So IK 6'1", 261.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's 40 pounds.
So he punching up, but there's a lot of weight behind it.
He punching up. He could have been standing on a bench or something, or maybe Geno was sitting down. Oh, that would be so rough. He was sitting down, like lacing.
I'm saying anytime a 261-pound linebacker hits you in the face, regardless if it's up, down, or just straight across,
up, down, all around,
suck.
up, down, down, left, right. It's gonna suck. Yeah, you're gonna be spitting out a couple of chiclets. So
we talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick for a second. Has a knack of just finding a team that has a questionable quarterback situation. Like he's with the Jets now. And now that Geno's out for 6 to 10 weeks, he's going to be starting. If he goes on a run, are they going to put Geno back in? What's the rule of thumb, though, I guess, is that the rule of thumb in football or any sport is you don't lose your job to injury, but that's not really a written rule. It's just a,
rule of thumb in sports is don't break your thumb because it hurts. So don't do that,
That's true.
Where
except in soccer, then it doesn't really matter.
Ryan's been he's been up down all around.
Ryan's been in Buffalo, and then
Buffalo,
he was in
Tennessee,
Houston.
and Houston last 3 seasons.
Yeah, and each one he got to a starting position.
Yeah, just by injury.
Injury or kind of like a questionable quarterback situation. I mean, Tennessee, that was an injury. Houston was kind of injury plus like a real questionable quarterback situation.
His career touchdown interception ratio is 123 to 101, so that's not bad. I mean, he was kind of hot for maybe 4 games in Buffalo one season.
He had 2 good seasons in Buffalo.
2 good seasons.
About 1.5.
He still didn't make the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills still haven't made the playoffs since they lost to the Patriots, I think, in like 1999. As we said in last year's NFL preview.
When was the last I think the last Buffalo playoff loss would have been the Music City Miracle against the Titans in 99.
Yeah, I think that was it. So they haven't made it. They haven't made it since then.
I don't
the only
believe so.
NFL team not to make the playoffs in the 21st century.
Wow.
Yeah, how about
The
that?
Browns have made the playoffs in the 21st century?
Yeah, I do believe so. I do believe so. Yes. I can double check that for you.
You say
But
so.
yes,
I would
it's
love
just,
you to double check it.
yeah, that's I will do that.
Oh, okay. I just feel like you can't really back it up now, but that's fine.
I feel like you can't back it up.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. But yeah, we were saying about something.
Well, speaking of playoff slumps.
Yes. Okay, we'll go right over these guys.
Oh, I like how you. Yes.
Well, no, I had a feeling you would.
That is what I'm talking about.
I had a feeling you'd bring them up. Yeah, Blue Jays are looking very nice.
The Toronto Blue Jays.
Yes, the Blue Jays of Toronto. So the Toronto Blue Jays currently in the four major North American sports own the longest playoff drought. They have not made the MLB playoffs since 1993 when they won the second World Series in a row. And you could say whatever you want about the baseball playoff scheme. Not a lot of teams make it in baseball as compared to, 3 games out of the playoff.
That's true. That's true. I mean, now at least they have that second wild card, which I think is fantastic for the game, even though it's only a one-game playoff. But you still have that second wild card spot, which is great.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out when this is so annoying.
What are you trying to figure out?
When
Will's on a new computer, ladies and gentlemen, so
this
he's
screen.
kinda new to it. Well, you don't
this
hold up the mouse to
screen-
the screen. You leave it on the desk, and you just move it around. It'll move around for you.
I tell you, I keep poking this thing, but this touch screen sucks.
Yeah,
This is awful.
okay.
Made the
Mostly
playoffs
because it's not.
So the Browns finished 9-7 in 2002, and due to multiple tiebreakers, made the playoffs for the first time since '94. So the
that was
Browns were in the playoffs, and
Super Bowl hangover Patriots, who didn't make the team that didn't make the playoffs that year.
That's right. The Super Bowl hangover's a real thing. Just ask the Seahawks who made it to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. But sorry, Robin Shabbatsky.
We would call that the exception, though, would we not?
Yes, that's the exception. That what does Matt say? That's the exception. It's not the rule. That's the exception.
Well, it's the exception that proves a rule.
That proves the rule. There
saying.
you go.
What Matt says, I'm not sure, but
what Matt
let's
says,
take
I'm not sure because Matt's not here.
just off the top of my head.
Yes.
2013.
Yes.
What's that team called?
The
Baltimore Ravens. They won
Yeah.
the Super Bowl that year? Did they make the playoffs the next year?
It was. The Super Bowl hangover is a real thing. I think we've discussed that, and we all respect that. Yeah, okay,
That's what I'm
there you
saying.
go.
Yeah, no, we all respect it. It's a real thing.
It's respect. It's a real thing. And then after the Patriots Super Bowl hangover wore off, they won the Super Bowl 2 years after that. Right?
2 years, yeah, 2003, 2004, and they were the last team to repeat.
Just in case, folks, you don't hear us talk about the Patriots enough. By the way, that Tom Brady's court sketch. Look up.
We'll get to that. We'll
Photoshop.
We'll stay on baseball for now.
Let's stay on base.
Super Bowl hangover.
Got to stay on
not
base.
looking good.
I'm getting thrown out. Yes, we'll stay on baseball for a second. The Blue Jays super hot right now. They swept the Yankees last weekend. They did real well against the Yankees this past
to
weekend,
show
too.
what's made a difference for the Jays. That's a really low scoring series.
Yes.
I think they won, and so the Yankees, I think, they kept them scoreless for the last, I want to say, 24 innings. Like, they only scored in the first 3 innings of the first game, and the next, 24, they were held completely scoreless, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere along there.
Which is kind of crazy. I mean, it's like the Blue Jays, last week, the Blue Jays got hot, and the Yankees got not, basically. After that sweep of the Yankees, I think you saw teams going 2 different directions, but the Blue Jays bats are singing. They crushed the Athletics. And they're looking,
man, just making all the right moves, getting all the right
really
players.
Good. Yeah, they brought in some great players, and the city's excited. All the players are excited. It's this kind of momentum that gets you in the playoffs, especially in baseball. It's like when things are going right for athletes on a team, if things are going right in sports, you just seems like when you swing, you just can't miss. When you pitch, you're just throwing every pitch you want to, and that's the opposite for a team going down. When you're on the downswing, nothing you do works. It's just like you're slumping, and it's just so frustrating. I know this because I'm a professional athlete myself. I think we can all recognize that in sports, though. I mean, look at Tiger. He was untouchable for a while, and then he came across a huge roadblock, huge hurdle in his personal life and his professional life. His glutes don't activate, and now he's still worth talking about, but he's definitely not as hot as he used to be. And in golf, a very frustrating mental sport, nothing he seems to do works. So anyway, the Jays are super hot. Everything they do seems to be working for them right now. I mean, it's just like they get up so quick early in the game.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just like the bat. Yeah, like you said, the bats are singing and the pitching's strong. Singing. If you can get the pitchers ahead, they are golden.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. And that's what they're doing. Their batting lineup's very, very good. And I wish I was in Toronto to experience it. I'm thinking the atmosphere there is great.
I've seen 3 Jays games this year. Unfortunately, I was cheering for the other team every single time.
Every single time. But, that's
Blue Jays
okay.
won twice. The Blue Jays won twice.
I've seen one Blue Jays game this year that they almost won, but there's no almost, especially in baseball. It's just a flat win-loss record. So
horseshoes and hand grenades.
Horseshoes and hand grenades and baseball. So, Jays, I mean, I think fans are now going to flock to the stadium. They're going to see something very special. And these fans, a lot of them waiting for a long time. And heck, a lot of them are just jumping on a bandwagon. And, there's always room on the bandwagon.
People want winners, man. Bottom line is, if it's not your, the sport of baseball isn't as popular in Canada as other sports.
Yes,
hockey.
Yeah, a lot of winners in hockey in Canada, by the way, where we haven't won a championship since '93. As far as like an NHL team, of which now we have 7. There hasn't been a championship here since 1993, but we still love our Canadian athletes who go down to the States, and we definitely love our Canadian athletes who band together and play in the Olympics. So, yes, people love a winner. Baseball isn't as popular in Canada, but, the Jays always have had this nation's heart, especially in 92 and 93. But I think they're going to capture a nation again as we head into the fall, head into October.
I really can't remember. There was probably a stat on this. The last time the Jays were leading or, in the run for the playoffs this late into August.
Oh, if it took me that long to find out when the Cleveland Browns last made the NFL playoffs, then it's going to take me a couple of years.
When was the last time the Blue Jays were in the playoff hunt?
And then the rest of this podcast is me going through Wikipedia being like, oh, okay, well, that's who discovered the Hadron Collider. It's amazing. So...
I don't think you just...
Yeah, I know. That's basically all we got to say about the baseballs, about the Blue Jays, is that they're doing quite well.
And I am team, the Red Sox, as a Red Sox fan, firmly and publicly declaring my jumping on the bandwagon of the Toronto Blue Jays.
There you go. Yeah, they're fun. They're playing.
I just want to make that known. No, not hiding that at all. But it was kind of funny. Like before the trade deadline, it was. What's the word? Like people were like, okay, they got good bats, but man, like you can't go anywhere without pitchers. Like, you need pitching, and they picked up Price, and everyone was just like, all right, never mind.
Yeah. Well, they won't let you start a game without a pitcher.
Good move by you, Alex Anthopoulos.
Yeah, but, like, Price is doing well, but also, like, Burley, Dickey's been pitching quite well. I think it really, like I said, man, it boosts the morale of the team. Like, baseball is a very momentum-based sport. And we'll see if they can beat the A's 18-game winning streak that they had in the movie Moneyball.
Which they had a 20-game winning streak in Moneyball.
Oh, it's 20 balls. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
I say it happened in the movie Moneyball like it didn't happen in real life.
Like it didn't happen in real life. Yeah. Now Scott Hatterberg hit a dinger after they were up. Infamously, Billy Beane got a phone call, showed up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they started losing because Billy Beane's bad luck. And then
he's such a loser dad. Yeah.
And I only know this because I've legitimately seen the movie Moneyball a dozen times.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
There's that theory where people are like, well, your favorite movie is the movie you've seen the most, which I don't find to be true. But if that, we had the movie network for a bit. Anytime it was on, I just put it on.
Yeah. I do that.
Like Sorkin, man. Sorkin plus sports. How can you go wrong?
For no reason, I do that for whenever Hobbit Desolation of Smaug is on. It's always when he's talking to Smaug in the thing. I'm always like, yeah, it's whatever, just put it on. I think the reason I don't watch my favorite movie the most is so I don't ruin it for myself.
That's
it's
true.
like it's so.
What is your favorite movie?
Well, it bounces, and I know someone's gonna call BS. I think I hear Matt in the back of my head calling BS on that. Disagree, but are you okay there? See,
Yeah,
at least
fine.
I muted my mic when I moved mine. I was a professional.
Well, yeah, I
sorry.
mean, if I had moved it on purpose, and then I would have muted it, but I hit it with my dumb fat finger.
She's going on a finger diet, bro.
It was
yeah,
my
it bounces.
thumb too. I didn't want to correct myself. That's right.
It was my fattest finger. I sometimes call him my thumb, and he's quite sensitive about it, so don't mention anything. No, it bounces for me between Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. I like Empire because it's cooler, but I like Star Wars because it's more fun, and it's also kind of our intro to the series. And it's not, so it's not trying to be so cool. It just is what it is. I think it's
So
more
all-time favorite movie, one of the first two Star Wars.
Yes,
You call it Star Wars. You don't call it A New Hope.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the what they call it in '77. I'm not going to be
layperson like myself.
Yes, you're quite lay, I should say. By the way,
Well, what are the years in the releases? Is it 77, 81, and 83?
77, 80, and 83.
Okay.
And then for the prequels it was 99, 02, and 05, and now they're changing it. OM God for this next series, which is going to
15,
be
17, 19?
Yeah, so it's like we're going to save a whole year between movies. We're going to save, which is cool, whatever. Takes
Well,
less
I mean,
time.
it's the difference between 6 years and 9 years between movies, I guess. No. 4 years and 6 years, I guess.
Yes, which is a difference of 50%.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for all you math fans out there, I know you're itching. I know you're itching to give us a
I mean, it's not 50% because 50% of 6 is 3, and so it's just 2, so it's actually 33%, but that's fine.
I know, and I was setting up the math nerds to correct us. Math nerds?
Yeah.
I said math enthusiasts early. I think nerds has a more negative connotation.
Well, I corrected you, and I don't think anyone would describe you as a math nerd. Just a douchebag. Just a corrector.
Just a corrector.
I was once told, because I correct so often, it's just a compulsion. Not a compulsion I have, it's just a thing I do. I can't even truly explain it.
Yeah,
I
we
was
all
told
do.
by somebody once, they're like, man, I think you were just like put on earth to humble me. And I was like, that is a very heliocentric view of yourself, that I am here strictly for your purposes. And they're like,
He corrected me again. Oh,
he kind of made me eat my words and then also prove my point.
I can't stand him. That's the worst. That's very funny. Yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, it's good that the
Talking about Star Wars. We're talking about favorite movies of all time.
Geno Smith got punched in the face. Oh, favorite
Yeah.
movies of all time. Yeah,
Right, so that's
a very
what we're
mild
on Star
discussion.
Wars, because we talked about Moneyball.
Because we're talking about Moneyball. There we go. We're going backwards. We're momentoing this. Alex, I don't even know if I know what your favorite is. I know Matt's is. He said it was Zodiac, or that's the one he could watch over and over again. He said.
Yeah, which is it is a good one. I've only seen Zodiac once. I only saw it once in theaters. That's the only time I've ever seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. So I haven't seen it in probably 7 years.
The risk of Matt screaming in my face. Yeah, sure, I've seen it. It was cool how they didn't catch the guy in the end.
Oh, you've never seen it at period?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I know,
mean that's not like a
There's a lot of movies out there, right? It's hard to see all of them.
Well, that is accurate. There are a lot of movies out there.
You like that one? There's a lot of movies.
63,471 movies have ever been released ever in the history.
Yes,
of the
and that
universe.
is a fact until this Friday when they're going to release a couple. This Friday they're going to release a couple more. But there's a lot of movies, and those are just the ones in English. They make a lot of movies in India and in Australia, and they make a lot.
Australians
of movies.
speak English.
Yeah, and they speak English. Well, depends. Oh, I did. That was what I set up, wasn't it?
No, they 100% speak English.
I don't know. How well do you understand Australian people sometimes, sir?
I don't know, man. I watched this commercial, and it was
Yes.
two old footballers. It was Jamie Carragher, who used to play for Liverpool, and Gary Neville, who used to play for Manchester United, and they were doing this like you get to draft your own team or something like that. It was like for the new FIFA game.
Okay.
And they're just speaking in English to each other. It's about a 4-minute video, and they're arguing over who to pick. It's kind of like Dynasty League in Madden or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you refer that to, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah, so you're drafting a team, you got to play a whole season with them. 50, maybe, I understood 50, it was all English, and I understood maybe 50% of what they were talking about. You're just like, oh boy.
You're speaking the Queen's English, man.
Yeah.
That's what they're speaking. But Alex, what's your favorite movie of all time that you haven't watched the most?
My favorite movie of all time, I definitely haven't watched it the most. I try to watch it once a year, if that, but like every time I'm just like, yep. And it's actually about as new as Zodiac is, so I don't feel too bad saying that it's No Country for Old Men.
There you go. That's okay to like new movies, too.
I know, it's just weird. It's like, what's your favorite movie ever? You're like, and it's been my favorite movie basically since it came out. So you're like, that one that just came out. And then people are like, all right.
People are like, movies came out before that, dummy.
And then I'm like, well, my second favorite's like Apocalypse Now, so whatever.
My second favorite's In Shin Endaloo.
The second favorite is Birth of a Nation. The historically racist one.
My second favorite is Song of the South, that Disney movie that they won't release.
Sweet potato pie, and I'll shut my mouth.
Yeah, thanks, Alabama.
Hey,
there you go. But it's okay to like newer movies. I don't know if they do this so much at Cineplex now, but I think they still do. They used to have like their name. Their name tag, and it would like have like their favorite movie on it. I wonder how often
they've done that since 1998.
So in 1998, I went to the movies and someone said Godzilla on it, and it was the 98 version, right? And I was like, that movie just came out. I wonder if anybody's been called to task on their name tag, be like, that's why do you like that movie so much?
Well, why do you like? Yeah, why is Matthew Broderick's Godzilla like your favorite movie?
Matthew Broderick's Godzilla your favorite movie?
That's what it should be called. It should be called Matthew Broderick's. Like it'd be like Tyler Perry Presents, just so you know, it's like Matthew Broderick's Godzilla.
I'd like to see the Godzilla that he would direct. Actually, no, that's a lie. I respect Matthew Broderick as a Broadway actor. He's
how many? Just for the record, for the crowd, because I know you're a big Broadway fan. How many times have you seen Broderick on Broadway? It's close to a baker's dozen, I think. Yeah, Broad on Broad.
It is a baker's dozen. Broad on Broad. Yeah,
Rick on Way.
I've seen him 8 times in The Producers and 5 times in the other stuff that he's done. Okay. Did he do The Producers on Broadway, or did he just do the movie? I think he might have just done the movie. The only thing I know about The Producers... No, he definitely
did The Producers with Nathan Lane on Broadway, yeah.
On Broadway. The only thing I know about The Producers is the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where Larry's doing it for the whole season. He was like originally supposed to do it with Ben Stiller, and then Ben Stiller gets like hurt or something, so he has to do it with David Schwimmer. It's a very funny season, obviously. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Is that the one where David Schwimmer's dad has like a snack that's like raisins and cashews, and then he's like Larry gets mad at him because he's screwing people on the cashews because there's too many raisins in them.
Yeah, that's right. He like owns the company.
Oh, God. It's the funniest. That show's the best.
It's too funny. It is too damn funny. Hey, speaking of HBO, this past week, and I finished the second season of True Detective. Now, I told the listeners of this show, and you, Alex, and Matt, if he was
I have
here.
something to say before I get your review, but yeah, you open this up.
I won't. Yeah, I did say that I was going to marathon it after the last episode came out. I found some time on the weekend, and I sat down and marathoned or as like people like to say these days, binge watched. I don't like the connotation of binge. That's not a very attractive word, right?
Yeah, it's a negative word.
It's a negative word, right?
Yeah. So like I binged, donated a lot of blood, and I'm lightheaded right now.
And now I'm feeling, I look very pale. I marathoned 7 in a row, and then a couple days later I watched the finale. Alex, what did you want to say about it?
Well, I just wanted to say that my friend is very into it and has been pushing me. My friend Matthew Cluett has been pushing me to get into the show. But then all the reviews that came out, like on Twitter, like when you just have no idea that the show's like, oh, thank God that season's over. You're like, oh, okay. Well, I'm getting kind of. It like, seems very dissuaded. Yeah, either you love it or hate it.
Yes, and that's a conversation I was having with Ian Hanlon, who's from the show, about.
And we could almost say impossible expectations too.
Well,
given
exactly
the quality and the fan base of the first season.
The fan base of the first season. Well, it's like something either has to be the best or be the worst, and there can't be any middle ground. Like it can't be just a good show because of the first season, which it came out of nowhere. People were like, "What's this show with McConaughey and Harrelson?" Okay, it's a detective. It's a weird crime they're trying to solve, and it really sucked people in, and it was great. I really enjoyed the first season, and then this one comes out, and it's going to be different cast, different setup, different kind of story structure, and people are just like, "Well, I don't like this." But yeah, for what I'll say about it is that it did not need a 90-minute finale. They could.
Oh, it's a 90-minute finale, eh?
Yes, it's a 90-minute finale, and they didn't need a 90-minute finale. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
But I did enjoy quite a bit of the performances in it, and
It's a larger cast too. I mean, before you're kind of dealing with McConaughey and Harrelson, and there's like the side cast and all that stuff. But this seemed to have 4 main characters from an outsider's perspective. It had Vince Vaughn, Taylor Kitsch, Rachel McAdams, and Colin Farrell.
yes.
So whether or not that holds true throughout the season, it's definitely more storylines.
Yes, there is more storylines. There's a lot more secondary characters in this. There's a lot of names. It's one of those stories too. And I think I realized I kind of don't like stories like these where it's like
Political corruption.
Yeah, political corruption. He's like, yeah, and a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. And this guy's, screwing over this guy over here and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. It's just like
That's what's preventing me, and I don't know too much about
either
truth.
I feel too stupid for it, or it's that's the thing. But I'm just like, I don't know if I want to follow all these names and it's just not the kind of story that appeals to me. Same with crime procedurals. It's like, oh, what happened here? Well, we found the body at the blah blah blah. Okay, well, someone's going down for this. Boom. Even though I've been in 2 crime procedurals myself, it's just not a story. I'm just like, yeah, for sure, I'll see that. I guess
I don't think I've ever watched a full episode of SVU in my life.
No, but yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't either. I don't think I've watched like any of it. But obviously, it's a show that's very popular.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely has this fan base, and a lot of I mean, at one point there was like 3 Law and Orders, 4 CSIs, and all that. 2 NCISs.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's a certain popularity built in. I honestly don't get the appeal of it at all. I really don't.
Which is funny as we talk about True Detective as being a crime procedural, but True Detective Season 1 centers around one crime.
Yes,
because
I see
every week,
being. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's every week it's the same thing but different, and that's the thing that people enjoy. Though is that just like you're going to present a problem, and by the end of the episode, it's going to be solved. Yep. And with True Detective, you're like, okay, well, it's going to be 8 hour-long, like full hour-long episodes. This is like an 8-hour story arc,
it's like the killing
8-hour mystery they got to solve. Well, exactly. But like the procedural where it's like, yes, well, this guy did a thing and now we caught him and now we'll see you next week. Like that's gonna, but yeah, political corruption and like gangster, like guys in the casino, like gangster type guys and stuff. Even though I love Goodfellas, but I haven't seen the movie Casino. Those kind of stories don't really do it for me. I just find it's too, I don't know. It's too out there. It's like, where are the drugs? Well, I got a briefcase of money. Here's $70 million. All right. Well, I'm
Goodfellas is also that gangster movie that kind of turned gangster movies on its head a bit.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not. Yeah. It is. And Scorsese's just really good at everything he does.
Yes, he is. Have you seen him dunk a basketball? He's amazing.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good dunker.
Yeah, the guy's incredible. Anyway, that was.
For those who don't know, Martin Scorsese's like a 5 foot, not anything after that.
That's true. Yeah, if he got punched by I.K. Amendola, he'd go down. Even though Martin Scorsese did direct Raging Bull, but that doesn't mean since you direct a movie about a real boxer doesn't mean you can yourself box.
No, and it also doesn't make you tall. So,
but
good try though.
Hey, if you want to stand on the shoulders of giants and call yourself tall, then you have the right to do so. That's from the one of my favorite movies that I've seen a bunch, The Social Network.
Oh,
yeah.
Who was I talking to the other day? Like
snappy dialogue.
Who doesn't like The Social Network? And I was just kind of like, I don't really want to even have this conversation right now.
That's okay. What I'm realizing,
George is getting upset.
And George getting upset. What I just said about True Detective also is like, I don't like those kind of stories, but as we and I was just discussed, huge audience for whatever it is, that kind of story where people, the crime procedural. So, some movies just aren't going to be for you. I was talking to a friend of mine, almost an ex-friend after she was saying that. She was like, I finally saw your beloved Birdman movie. She was a text.
Exactly. About Birdman.
Exactly.
Yeah. Either you get it or you don't, and I can't explain it to you.
Yes. So this was an example of a movie that like really, instead of me getting blood red mad, which
Yeah.
I was in a little bit now, and I can feel it coming on your side, Alex. That maybe sometimes Willie's got to step back and say, you know what, I respect that. It wasn't for you.
I don't even have to say that. I just go, you know what? Not worth my time. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. I'm not respecting your opinion, but I also will not acknowledge it, and that's better for both of us.
Like she sent me that text. It said in front of it, and like I'm putting some stank on it because this is how I interpret it. But how else would you interpret it?
You always interpret text with stank.
With always, if you're getting a text, put some stank on it.
Stank on it.
Put some Stankonia. It's an Outcast album from 2000. So she's
Stankonia,
Birdman movie. And then I saw her later, and she's like, "You didn't respond to my text." I'm like, "What am I like? What was I supposed to say? Oh, you didn't. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't like it. Like, what am I supposed to say to that?" And it's like, all right, fine. Great. What are you going to come at me, bro? Because you didn't like the movie. I didn't make it. First of all, I just think it's great, and if I guess this is very annoying, but if I want to say, well, and the Academy of Motion Picture Art and Sciences clearly agrees because it won a bunch of awards. But she was like, yeah, well, the movie is just about a guy in a play. I'm like, oh, I get it. And I fell asleep. I'm like, okay, fine. I don't know why.
That's a horrible argument. For
I fell asleep.
It's not about like it's just about a guy that it's like that's not. No,
I know. Oh, dude,
sense.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's about a kid on a space farm and he gets taken on a journey and then the thing. Like I don't know. He finds out he's got the four. Like I fell asleep. Like you could do that.
Matter.
You
it's
could
like
do
Life
that
of
to
Pi is
movie.
like this kid lives in here and then he's on his boat with 1,000 animals and he travels the world with a tiger and you're like, yeah, but that doesn't make it a better movie because more fantastical things are happening in it.
Well, it also depends on the
Just
pitch.
about
So
a
you can
guy
say
in a
that.
play.
Or you can be like, yeah, Life of Pi is about this kid on a boat and it was a tiger, but the tiger wasn't even real. Sorry, spoiler alert for Life of Pi.
Spoiler alert,
Bro.
Life of Pi, book and movie.
Book and movie that Matt would...
Broadway play, starring Matthew Broderick as
the tiger.
Richard Parker.
As Richard Parker.
That annoyed the crap out of me. Don't give the tiger a
Parker.
last name. Just call him Dickie and get it over with.
Dickie. I like animals that have a last name. That aren't the family's last name. I know, disagree. I like animals that have a last name because it's so.
Give me an
it's so
example of
useless.
animals with the last name that isn't the family's last name.
Oh, I'm going to derail this. Actually, we did have an RIP this last week. Uggy, the dog from The Artist.
The artist.
The little artist doggy passed away. At the age
How
of
old
13.
is he?
He was 13, so he was like 100 in dog years. Sorry, that was stealing a line from TMZ. He lived.
Who calls it TMZ?
Canadians.
Okay.
Bro. And English people. And New Zealanders would pronounce it like that too, I suppose. Anyway, shout out to Uggy. He's chilling up in doggy heaven. I don't know why I thought about it, but Uggy doesn't have a last name, and he's been on the red carpet. Probably peed on the red carpet too.
Thanks, man, for bringing a lighthearted subject and be like, oh yeah, this dog died.
Well, he lived a full doggy life. That's fine.
How many dogs? Okay. Walked the red carpet at the Oscars for an Oscar-winning movie. Not many.
Not many. I'll
My
tell you
count
that.
is like 6, and there's been like way more dogs than 6 ever in existence.
Like Air Buddies didn't get nominated for a lot, but still all those puppies.
All those
walked the red
puppies were
carpet.
there. So we'll get, because I
Yes.
feel like this is going to be, we'll move on from, I don't even remember where the subject started, so
That's
now
okay.
I'm
Matt's
starting
not
to
here
see
to
Matt's
keep us
value, but I
on.
hope he doesn't listen to
I'm
this and hear me.
starting to see Matt's value.
Yeah.
We're about 400 episodes into this podcast series, and I'm starting. You know what? I'm starting to see his
Starting
value.
to see your value.
Besides
Okay.
the fact that it's
You,
Sauce's idea.
William
It's not gonna
Vaughn,
age. Yes. So I
Were
went
somewhere
to
last week where you saw a live event of some sort of athletic competition, entertainment, what
bro,
have
it wasn't
you.
even a live event, bro. It was the real deal. It was going down.
So
for
you
real.
were there in person.
I was there live at the event. So I was a little slightly crushed last week that my second row wrestling ticket live event hookup abandoned us. But that's okay. I mean, I didn't pay for the ticket, so I can't get upset for something I don't pay for.
You
right?
sure? You absolutely can get upset for something you don't pay for.
I guess
You don't
so.
pay for
Sure.
the moon, but if it just disappeared, you'd probably be upset about it.
There's nothing I could do about it, though. Well, the world would flood, right? The tides would be out of control.
Yeah, it still changes the fact that there's nothing you can do about it. But you can be upset about free things.
That's true. I mean, I was mildly upset, but also this was cushioned by the fact that I was seeing Raw in Everett, Washington,
Which is
the night after.
Where?
Everett, Washington is about a half hour from Seattle, but on television they don't mention Everett, I think, at all. They just call it Seattle on television. It's like, yeah, here we are in Seattle. We're in Raw's in Seattle. It's like, no, it is
There's a
not.
bunch of Seahawks. The wrestlers were the Seahawks a whole bunch, and the Mariners and the Supersonics.
Like Everett's home of the Silvertips, which is their WHL team.
Totally.
But this is in the Xfinity Arena, formerly the Comcast Arena. Xfinity, I think, is like the internet that Comcast provides. Anyhow, it was a kind of a dinky arena. I'm not sure what the capacity is for it, but it felt very small. It didn't like if you watch it on TV, which some people do. It had you know how like some arenas have that like screen that goes all the way around. This did not. This like has like old school ads all over the place. It's I'm not sure. So this is built in 2003, and capacity is about let's see, it's probably about 8,000.
Oh, wow.
8 to 9,000 people. So it's got like
Halifax not get Raw. I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. Well, because they got to do the Super Show there, Raw and SmackDown. But this place was big enough to have a ramp at least. Halifax can't handle a ramp. And neither can San Jose for some reason. So it was
Sacramento can't either.
Sacramento, yeah. What is it with California? So this is a smaller arena, but it was cool. Everett's kind of a smaller borderline city. It's got a weird thing where it's got a bunch of bars that we were like sit at, and then like no one told people who own the bars to have more staff on because like there were just like one or two people behind the bar, and you have to go to the bar to order everything. So like after the show, we just sat down someplace and we're like, all right, well, there's people in here, but no one's really doing anything, so we just left. But yeah, Everett's a weird sort of town. But it was cool because it was taken over by wrestling fans. So everybody,
Of course, yeah, it's a place people kind of would go to only for the live event.
For the live event, yeah. So there's a bunch of people and a bunch of shirts, and just like being at these events, you just kind of realize the
shirts on the people, or
wrestling is. Yeah, the shirts are on the people. Yeah. I think some people probably had one in like their back pocket or something, but just you see the.
I just made a face at that for some reason.
In the back, like dangling out of the back pockets, like a do rag, or should I say a do not rag? You see like
that too.
All right. Somebody asked me the other day, he's like, how's the podcast going? Do you guys think you'll videotape any of it? And I was like, we certainly will not ever videotape. And I don't see the value in that.
Plus, I don't have any blank tapes anymore. So
I threw them all out. But yeah, you just like look at all these people, and everybody's, some people have the same shirt, but most people there were in different shirts, and everyone's lined up to go in, like all different shirts from different eras. People chose their wrestling shirts very carefully. There was a time in my life when I had about, I think 7 different shirts for like a bunch of different guys. I didn't end up buying a shirt at the show just because there wasn't really one that I felt I wanted. Also, they were expensive. So I'm like, I don't know, $40 for a shirt is it's a lot. It's a lot for a shirt that I'll only wear to like this event because no longer do I feel it necessary to wear a wrestling shirt outside.
No, definitely
in
not.
Public
because you are 30 years old.
I'm a 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
It was Monday Night Raw. We had decent seats, 10th row. I Instagrammed a photo of kind of from where I was, and the iPhone 5 doesn't take very good live event shows, but that's another thing for another day. But it was fun. Saw the Superstars, a couple of tag matches there, a tag match and a one-on-one match there.
So what's Superstars? It's like the old Sunday Night Heat?
Superstars is basically what Sunday Night Heat used to be, but even Superstars was around before Sunday Night Heat. I mean,
we
I remember
saw Superstars being taped in Halifax.
Yeah, this is before I knew that they would tape like probably a bunch in a row. That was probably like a 4 or 5 hour show, actually.
Didn't see Mr. Perfect though.
It took a while.
Not that
we were leaving. All right, well, we can say this with Matt. Like, don't bring this up. We saw Superstars in Halifax in like the early 90s. I think it was around 93. I remember the angle at the time was like Razor just got pinned by a kid on Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
So Brett showed up on the screen and was like, yeah, they're all chanting 1, 2, 3, 1. And everyone would chant 1, 2, 3 at Razor. And of course, Scott would go crazy and then go backstage and most likely drink something. But we watched, he did at the time. And Dad actually said something to me. Hacksaw came out, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, beat people up. He had his 2x4 and he had his flag and he came out and he was all excited. But Dad was kind of like, yeah, they probably just woke him up and gave him a cup of coffee and said, all right, Hacksaw, you're on. He's like, okay, all right, I'm on. And I'm like, no way, Dad. He was getting ready in the back all day. He's probably working out. He's probably studying up on his opponents, like Papa Shango or something. He's doing squat thrusts. I'm like, no way, Daddy's getting ready. Now that I understand a little bit more about, how show business works and how you prepare yourself once you're there.
Brag.
Humble. Hey, bro, it's my living. It's also my dying. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Actually, Dad was probably bang on there. He's probably sleeping. Then he's got smacked awake. Like, you're on. He's like, okay, give me my piece of wood, and here I go. But yeah, we were. I remember like there's this thing with Lex Luger wouldn't take off his cape or take off his arm something, like the little
he had a steel plate
that he had in his arm. He did have a steel plate in his arm.
Yeah. Was he Lex Luger at this point, or was he like all American?
He was still the
narcissist.
He was still the narcissist. Yeah. So this is like I think late '93. Anyway, it was a school night and we had to leave. And on our way out, we heard Mr. Perfect's music outside the Metro Center, and we were like, "All right, well, that was Superstars." But we've seen like
I don't remember us being like all that upset though.
I think we
were bummed, but we weren't like kid upset. We were like,
here's the thing. It goes back to what I said earlier. You can't get so upset about something you didn't pay for. I'm like, well, Pops is calling the shots. He's got the car. He's got the dollar bills that gave us the tickets, so I can't really complain too much. He's
I feel
got
like
clout.
That wasn't your mindset at the time, though.
I was like, you're just gonna call it bullish.
Call a spade a spade.
Call a spade a spade. I was upset, but I'm like, well, I think it was like silently stewing. Like I couldn't really get mad at him because I still did get to see the show, just not all of it. But I'm like, why did we only see like part of the show? You paid for the whole thing. You paid for the whole seat. You only needed the edge. But so Raw was fun. What they didn't do this time is they usually like last time when I saw Raw in Seattle, it was the Slammy show, and it was such a big show. Not the wrestler, just the show itself.
Yes.
That even at the end, like it ended on a big schmozzle, like a big talking segment, and then they had like a main event match, which was John Cena and Randy Orton, because John was out there, and John's like, "Well, I'm out here in my jorts. Randy, you're out here in your underwear. Let's bring a ref down. Let's have a match." Because
they'll never end for a live crowd. I think with a promo, they'll end TV that way, but they'll do an after.
Because when we were in Portland, this was 2 years ago. For Raw. It was before WrestleMania 28, so Rock was there, and he came out, and he cut a promo on John Cena, and then the cameras turned off, and Rock was like, it's great being back here in Portland, but, I lived here for a while, my dad, blah, 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 and he talked to us for even longer, got some bonus show. And then after that, he left, and then Kane's music went on, and Lillian got up, was like, your main event tonight is, what? Kane against John Cena. So we saw that little match, and
wow.
that was fun. That was a little treat, but this Raw that I saw, oh my God, that's a rhyme. What and a title match, and we almost saw a new champion when Sheamus tried to cash in his briefcase. So that ended in a match, and then once everybody left, then Lillian was like, "All right, thanks, good night." I was like, "All right, no bonus show, I guess."
Yeah, you always hear about like kind of that
Raw.
Bonus aftermath, even if it's not a match or anything. Like usually the guys will stay out and do something for the live fans.
I think they've actually released a DVD of like what happens after the show.
Yeah.
And most of it is like Jericho and Austin and Rock just like improving on the mic, which would be a lot of fun to check out. But this one didn't end like that. But I thought it was a pretty good Raw, some pretty good wrestling in there, and we are en route to SummerSlam live from Brooklyn now, which gets heat on NXT because it's not because Brooklyn NXT Takeover is the night before. Both shows are sold out, by the way, which is kind of insane. But I'm gonna feel like so. Most fans are doubling up, I would think. If you're in Brooklyn and you're a wrestling fan, you're like, all right, I'm, it's one of the cool towns, so everybody knows everything. So they're going to see NXT the night before. That'll be a 2-hour show, which is nice for the takeover shows. And then SummerSlam the next day will be 4 hours. So I think people are going to get kind of antsy by the end of hour 4 of SummerSlam. Don't you agree? So I think Brock and Undertaker are definitely going to have to deliver. The reason I say that is because I think depending on what happens with the title, I don't know if Seth's going to go on last. It's possible because John, they still said he's 50-50. I'm wrong. August 11th on Tough Enough, Cena accepted Rollins' challenge. John showed up on Tough Enough last Tuesday with a new nose and some new gear. So I guess he's going to have to do SummerSlam. I was saying about John Cena, like he was 50-50. If John Cena was 51-49, he would wrestle. Like, if he's got any slight inkling that he can compete, he'll do that. So they actually still might put on Lesnar and Undertaker on last just because of...
Well, that's certainly the one that's been getting the most hype.
You get the most hype, and like when I went to Raw, I was like, "Oh, cool! So there's a Lesnar Undertaker feud happening, so we might see some of them." And then, of course, it's like next week, same arena at the same time. It's like, oh,
yeah, that's something I was going to ask
everybody.
you was if you're going to a live event like that, and there are guys like Lesnar and Taker who are part timers, do you know at the time whether or not they're going to be at the show or not? And the answer is no.
No, we don't know.
Yeah, so you're going with the possibility of seeing Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, with the possibility, but I'm like, he was just on last week. If I saw anybody, it would be The Undertaker who would come out and be like, I'm responding to your, Paul Heyman's little speech, right?
Yeah.
So we saw neither. It was also weird to be at a Raw without John Cena. That was kind of odd.
Yeah.
Just because he's got a pretty high attendance record for Monday Night Raws. And also I thought we'd see Dolph Ziggler return just because he's shooting this movie up in Vancouver. And, I thought he'd carpool down with Stephen Amell and they'd jump in there.
Yeah,
when
when was the last time we had a celebrity in a match in WWE? The last one I can think of.
Might be Menounos.
Okay.
That was WrestleMania 28.
I went to Floyd Mayweather, but that was way earlier.
Well, Floyd was 24.
Yeah.
I saw Snooki at WrestleMania 27.
She was actually, she's
Snooki
a piece
wasn't
of
bad.
ish, but she was actually pretty impressive athletically. She did
a handspring.
Yeah.
Stephen Amell, I saw a tweet from Joey Styles last week about Stephen Amell's training, like a picture of him standing on the top rope in knee pads and elbow pads. So I'm not sure what he can do. This is what I don't understand. Okay, so I'm going to run on this card very quickly.
It's a freaking dream, though, isn't it? Being an actor and then being able to wrestle in SummerSlam.
Oh, he tweeted, he's like, somebody find out just any way to stop this day from ending because he was just on cloud 9, I'll bet. And,
nice.
It's sweet. He's also a very close personal friend of mine, obviously, from when we worked on Arrow a couple years ago. This is another humble brag. Hey, I'm full of them today. So let's run down this card real quick. I'll go from 7-1. So there's no Divas title match, but there's a 3-team elimination match, which is Team Bellas, which is the Bellas and Alicia Fox, Team Bad, Beautiful and Dangerous, Tamina, Sasha Banks, and Naomi, and Team, what was formerly the Submission Sorority.
Submission Sorority.
Submission Sorority,
yes.
Which has now changed its name to Team PCB, which, like, the laziest writer came up with this, which is Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. So that's the 3-team elimination match. Yeah, so that'll be good. I mean, the NXT girls will get a chance to showcase what they have, and it'll probably be quite a bit longer than I hope they gave it some time.
Well, it's a 4-hour show.
Yes, it's a 4-hour show. It's a 9-diva match. They just love kind of shoehorning them all in there. So I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess PCB wins this one. Stephen Amell and Neville against Stardust and King Barrett. This is what I don't understand, because before Stephen Amell jumped the barricade and tackled Stardust, there was a match between Neville and King Barrett. King Barrett beat Neville in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament to become King Barrett, and Neville beat him in about 3 minutes.
Yes.
Clean. With the red arrow, which sweet move, but I'm like,
nobody's.
Okay, that's it?
Nobody's storyline makes less sense now than King Barrett's has in the past year. It makes no sense whatsoever.
He's had such a bad.
He's going over. He's jobbing. He's winning the King of the Ring, then jobbing to R-Truth clean, and then winning, and then lose. It just makes no sense whatsoever.
He's all over the place.
They have no idea what to do with that guy.
And Neville kind of is too. So it's Stephen Amell and Neville against Stardust and King Barrett. And now obviously this is going to be a tag match, so Stephen Amell can go in there and do some things, but also
Jay Leno style.
Yeah, most of the heat can get on Neville. So I'm going to guess obviously Stephen Amell and Neville will win here, unless Amell takes a sick bump and loses. But that'd be pretty sweet.
There's no way Amell's going to take a sick bump and lose.
No, but you never know. Could be one of those things, bro, that they're like, what's the last thing anyone's going to expect? We're going to give them that. Nope, they won't.
Let's choke slam him through the Hell in the Cell.
4 corners, primetime players against Matadores, Lucha Dragons, and New Day. I'm going to guess I'm hoping the New Day wins this one, but I'm going to guess the players will retain. I think the Dragons and Matadores.
They don't know what to do with the tag division.
Yeah, I know. And like the Ascension's not really going anywhere.
They sure aren't.
Harper and Rowan isn't, they're not a thing anymore.
Well, Harper's back with Wyatt.
Speaking of Harper and Wyatt against Ambrose and Roman Reigns, 2/3 the Shield versus 2/3 the Wyatt family.
Which they split up and brought back together both at the same time.
Yes, because they're like, All right, Luke Harper, you're back with Bray Wyatt. Yeah. So this is kind of a give these four guys something to do match, and I'm going to guess Reigns and Ambrose win. But I'd like to see Wyatt beat somebody clean with the Sister Abigail.
Yes.
We'll see. And next is their Intercontinental title match. We didn't get a Battleground. Ryback against Big Show and The Miz. Now, I should have guessed Ryback was going to return on Raw because they had a new shirt for him at the merchandise stand.
Okay.
So I'm like, that should have been a clear indicator. But Ryback came back. He looked good. In the middle of a very fun segment with Miz and Daniel Bryan. Here's the other thing I'm going to say about Everett and Seattle, the entire Northwest. Don't chant Seahawks at the live shows. And they do that. They do that during the commercial breaks. They did that at the beginning of Ambrose and Harper's match. It's so annoying if you're not a Seahawks fan, which I'm certainly not. I did see a guy walking around the concourse, though, in Patriots hat. I was like, dude.
Ballsy.
Ballsy. Respect. So I'm going to guess Ryback retains here because Big Show and Miz don't need the title at all. John Cena against Seth Rollins. Title for title, which I don't like. I don't understand what would benefit Seth by having the U.S. title as well as the heavyweight title. And I don't want John Cena to win the heavyweight title. So,
no.
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I'd rather Seth go over here.
I was kind of hoping they'd do like... two falls. Remember the two falls of WrestleMania 16? One was for the European Championship, one was for the Intercontinental title. That would have been kind of cool.
That's true, but I think both titles were held in advance at that point. Or no, actually,
yeah, Kurt Angle had both, and he lost both.
Yes,
yeah,
Kurt Angle.
He lost he lost the European to Jericho, and he lost the Intercontinental to Benoit.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he was the Eurocontinental champion.
Yes,
and then Brock against Undertaker. I'm gonna guess that Kane's gonna come out here at some point as like masked Kane. I know. He probably won't, but I'm just thinking the seeds they're trying to plant with him saying, "Don't talk about my family." And I think Brock was the guy who put him out too. He smashed the stairs on his ankle. So that's kind of what we might be looking at if we're going to beat Lesnar, which I think might happen. But I don't know. What do you think, Alex? Who do you think would go over here, barring any interference?
I think Lesnar has to go over. That's my opinion.
Again, yeah. You think we'll get two in a row?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no.
All right.
I just
it's
find
possible.
It's so stupid the way they book stuff. Like to have Brock Lesnar come back and then lose to Triple H at WrestleMania 28 just made no sense whatsoever. Or maybe WrestleMania 29. Like the way they book the older guys versus the younger guys just drives me absolutely insane. And I'm not even really a fan of wrestling anymore. Just like the little things they do. You're just like, why is Wyatt going over clean to Taker at WrestleMania? Like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And like Show's got to go and Kane's got to go. They just can't. They got to go. And Henry's got to go.
Yeah, Henry. I just listened to he did a podcast with Jericho. Henry's he's on his way out. He's saying he's thinking of retiring. Well, when he did his retirement speech, he's like, "I'm done." And Vince is like, come on, you got some more in you." So he did that fake out retirement speech. And I did like Big Show coming out on Raw, being like, "You want me to retire? Find someone to retire me." And then Ryback comes out, which was kind of cool being there live. One match that I don't see here, and I'm just going off Wikipedia, which is the greatest website of all time, is I think we're definitely going to see Cesaro against Kevin Owens for something. I'm just, to have a good one-on-one match, and I think they could have certainly the possibility of stealing the show.
Everyone's surprised they're not on the card.
Yeah, it's just not on the card yet. Maybe they announced it on SmackDown or something that I missed. I don't know. It is Monday, but we'll see what happens on Raw tonight, live from the Target Center in Minneapolis.
Which is the thing I have a problem with, because it's Monday Night Raw.
I guess I never thought.
You see why that's confusing?
Yeah, but it's Monday Night Football.
But Monday night.
Yeah, but you can't say Monday Night Raw.
You can't.
I'm gonna try to get that over.
Saying you can't, but I'm just saying
trying
it
to get that
hasn't
over.
been done before. I mean, we can.
It's like, what are you doing Saturday night?
Yeah, exactly. Saturday's ended. It's past 5 o'clock, baby. It's Saturday Eve. What are you doing Saturday night?
It's Saturday afternoon. How you feeling? Yeah, well, no. I think that's just so dumb. Anyway, well, that was our 2.5 hour discussion of wrestling. Oh, the NXT TakeOver event's going to be pretty cool too. What else? Jushin Liger's going to be there. I don't know how they're doing that, but Jushin Liger's going to be there, which is
like the old Japanese guy.
Like the old Japanese guy. He's born he's like 49 years old.
Oh wow.
Or he's like he's 50. But I'm thinking, like, since it's a dude in a mask, maybe they just put, like, a more spry guy in there. Like, he debuted before I was born. Debuted March 3rd, 84.
Wow.
So, I don't know if they just, like, put, like, a kid in the mask and be like, you're the new Jushin Liger. Kind of like Tiger Mask. They just pick a different
Doink. There's, like, 50 doinks.
Yes, there were doing, but the original one did pass. He's up there with Uggy, man.
He has passed.
He had, and so has Dusty. So everybody who died. Why are we just going on about people that died? Let's talk about people who are alive. Alex, you and I are very much alive.
Yep.
Knock on wood. And knock on wood. And we're on Twitter. I'm
Twitter machine.
On the Twitter machine.
Yep.
Ooh, that was way in my ear.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, get out of my head. It was. Yeah, just stop doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at William C. Vaughn, and you're on Twitter at
Evonix Well, it's the @ symbol, which I don't even know what that's actually called. Is it just called the @ symbol?
It's called a pig's tail, I think.
Because the and symbol is called an ampersand.
It's an ampersand, yes. The @ symbol is just called @ symbol, which is I don't know how you can have a symbol which is yeah, exactly. It's like it's the plus
symbol,
sign.
not AT. EVAUGHANICS, as it is and as it will always be. That is my social media name, as I've been told. So that's cool because it's Instagram and Twitter. So I have a brand. It's not a good one.
You got to grow the brand. Yeah,
not a good one, but it's a brand.
Hey, you really can't.
It's my figurative brand, and it's my literal brand. I literally made a brand with it, and sometimes I stick it in the fire, and I'll brand people. It just says Evonix.
Wow,
it's small. It's small. You can barely mostly see it.
Yeah. It's like burning your thumb on a cigarette lighter in a car before going to watch the Mooseheads practice at Cole Harbor Place.
Right.
You know,
I think that's only happened to a select few, though. I'm not going to lie. Seems oddly. It's like train wreck where LeBron's giving examples. And it's like, LeBron, this seems pretty specific to something that would happen to you. But
it also, I agree with the tweet that you sent last week, Alex. Yes, it did make me enjoy like Uptown Girl even more.
Dude, I am on like the biggest Billy Joel. Like, not even Uptown Girl. Like, only the Good Die Young is my jam right now. Moving out. Heart attack.
Who did Billy Joel on SNL? I think it might have been Horatio. Or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he did that. Like, heck. One other thing I'm going to mention too is
WWDJD mean. It stands for what would Billy Joel do? I tell you what he'd do: make another crappy song. In your face, Billy Joel.
Thanks, community.
Thanks, community.
I'm going to say that on their, WWE has the trucks and the buses and all that stuff. Yep. WWE has the trucks and buses and all that stuff. They're really pushing WrestleMania 32 already.
Wow.
They're probably going to be pushing a lot of SummerSlam. Oh, other SummerSlam prediction is that Ronda will be there. Rowdy Ronda.
Well, they've mentioned her. They dropped her name. Her and
I'm
Nat
saying
seem
they're
to
dropping
be
her
having
name.
a spat. So we'll see what happens there.
Her and Nat have a spat?
Yeah.
What's up with that? Little Hurricane Greg Helms for you there. Thanks for being here this week. Matt, we hardly knew you. And we'll see you next week with more fun and frivolity.
Oh, wait, I got to end the call. I've never done this before.
And Matt's going to leave this in.
Behind the
I think we
scenes,
just press hang up. Let's just press hang up.
Okay, well, I pressed it, but I'm doing it with the touch screen that I don't have. So.
Oh, okay. Keep poking it harder. It worked for me.
Goodbye.
Shut up. Goodbye.